Another question I received on social media was, I'd love to be a coach, but I feel like I'm struggling with imposter syndrome. I mean, like, who am I to coach? In other words, why would I be able to coach somebody when I feel like I'm not mastering my own life or whatever it is? Well, that's understandable. I tell people that you want to start with what you know and start with your core competence if you want to coach. Don't go outside the area of what your expertise is. You'll be an imposter. You won't be an imposter if you stick to what is most meaningful, most inspiring, most fulfilling, highest in your priority, most dedicated to, that your life demonstrates is important to you. Don't step out. Don't just go, well, so-and-so said I should do this, or I ought to be doing this. Find the thing that is deeply meaningful to you, that you spontaneously love learning about, that you want to coach in. And don't try to be, a jack of everything to everybody. Just find the one that is meaningful to you, that you have the most knowledge about, the most experience about, and start there. When I first started teaching 52 years ago almost, I knew what I knew. And I had students back then. And I've learned something since. And my student base has grown. And I started with what I knew. When I first started taking on clients and doing whatever, speaking and coaching back then, I did things on yoga and meditation because that's what I knew. I was learning about that and I've done some skills on it compared to what they knew. I knew more than they did. And they wanted to learn it. So start with what you know and let what you know grow. And when the area that is most important to you, that's where you'll excel. Whatever you spontaneously want to learn about, that's the area to coach. Whatever you want to spontaneously talk about, that's the area to coach. Whatever you keep wanting to go and read about and explore and discuss and spontaneously want to engage in, that's the area of expertise you want to coach, because that's where you're going to know the most. And if you do that and stick to that and start there, you'll grow. You won't be an imposter. You're only going to be an imposter if you exaggerate what you know that you don't know. You can exaggerate it just to try to get business. And that's because you fear the loss of business or you won't gain business. Don't hype it up. Don't exaggerate yourself. You'll get humbled. And inevitably, pride before the fall. But if you just be humble and just tell them what you know and what you did. I had a guy that just today, he asked me if I would help him in his business. And I told him, I said, I could. But I don't think I'm the one that is most skilled in that particular business. I really believe you'd be wiser to get somebody, because my fees are pretty high. That's not my area of expertise. It'd be wiser to go and hire somebody that does that. And he was appreciative of it. He said, thank you for being integral with me about it. I said, that's not my area. I could do it. I could make some money off him. I could do that. But I wouldn't feel as inspired to do something that's not my area of expertise. And he was not going to get the best service. And he'd be spending money on something that would not be as good as he could doing something else. So I just felt that was the wisest thing to do, and he appreciated it. And I didn't want to be distracted trying to be an imposter, because that's not my area of expertise. I have some business savvy, I've got the financial savvy, but in his particular niche, I really didn't believe I would give him as much value as he could get somewhere else for the same buck. So I just told him that. So don't go outside your core competence. Everything is going to teach you about being authentic. Every symptom in your business is going to teach you how to be authentic and stick to what your core competency is. And mine is in human behavior. That I can go days on. But when it comes to IT or it comes to cars or comes to cooking, if somebody asks me, hey, can you give me some IT advice? I'd say, I'm not going to do that. I delegate that to expertise. I could pass those people to you, but that's not my area of expertise. So I just tell them to stick to your core competence. And if you do, you won't be an imposter. You're only an imposter when you get outside who you are. So don't try to waste your time on that. Stick to what you know and let what you know grow. And then make a dedicated effort to read and study and learn everything you can on the field that you want to master in coaching. And as you gather knowledge, at first you're probably going to think you don't know as much as somebody else because you're going to be comparing yourself to others. But that's not what you want to do. You want to compare your daily action to your own dream. And did you learn something today? If you spend a day learning and you have something that'll be of value to them, a skill or talent or knowledge that will be valuable to them, there's somebody out there that doesn't have that you can honestly serve without being an imposter. But if you exaggerate or minimize yourself, you'll hold yourself back. Just be yourself. There's no imposter in authenticity. Why be second at being somebody else when you can be first at being you? Nobody's going to compete with you. You're going to try to be competitive, and they're going to be competitive when you're inauthentic. But there's no competition to an authentic individual. They're unique. They got their own set of values. So stick to what you know and let what you know grow, and just keep every single day, make an effort to grow that knowledge and package and organize your knowledge in such a way that you're solving problems. Make an effort to think, if they have this problem, what would I do? If you prepare in advance to solve the problems in advance, what would I do if the person came to me with this problem? What would I do if the person came with this? What kind of advice would I give? And if your preparation is ready, opportunity comes your way. Luck is preparation, meaning opportunity. Be prepared to serve. Truly care about the individual. And if you don't know the answer, say, I don't know, but I'll find out. And then get yourself a team of people that are experts in other areas that you can call upon to help, and bring them in if necessary inside your system, and allow yourself to be master of what you do, and gather people who are masters around you in case that individual you're working with also needs other assistance. And you don't have to be an imposter. You're not going to get as far being an imposter as you are being authentic. The magnificence of who you are is far greater than any fantasies you'll impose on yourself. So give yourself permission to be the coach that you dream about. Start with what you know and let what you know grow.